That's what the whole captain, lieutenant, private soldier is all about. It don't mean that, like, you know, one person is like more superior over another. It just means that one person got a controlling knowledge of a situation. Another person is the best person to deliver that knowledge to everyone, and everybody else need to fucking fall in line.
And I'm gonna tell you everything too. Like, and it's a good question. Messiah told me one time, right, that they had captains and lieutenants, right?
They did.
And it got to a point that a lot of brothers was abusing their powers. So the father had to scrap that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, like, me being an older brother. And
we maintained it in the security, like for parliament security.
No, I'm talking about way before when I had that house. I'm talking about in the 60s.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So I'm just saying, like, you know, as I'm older in knowledge and see, like, growing up and seeing how other brothers dealt with things and how the father, like, just saw this vision just in the 3.5 years he was amongst us and gave to certain individuals. He didn't give everything to the first time born. A lot of our brothers from Medina, our firstborns from Medina was dead, as well as the brothers in Mecca. Right. A lot of our firstborns in Medina is still here. Yeah. Like most of our graphics and designs come from Medina. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the range, you come to Marijuana, the biggest majority of the nation is Medina. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because just like, you know, the Christmas parties, the father had a beach party one time. This was funny when Messiah told me this, right? And he had all the herbs put on the 2 pieces. You know how it does. Yeah. And he did all that, and the father had to scrap that because they said they wasn't ready for it. So they had to put on the 3 falls. You know what I'm saying? So even in our dress codes, you know, back in the days, you wore a shirt, you wore it all the way, the button all the way up to the top.
Right as that.
You know what I'm saying? We you know, you knew who God was, just got him. Demons know for the hat. You see a brother with a nice hat, you know he came from hats.
Oh, hats. Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we just had our own style because you gotta understand, going back to them other sects that was coming out. You know, we know we was wearing those sheets, so we wasn't doing the Ansar thing. We wasn't doing that, right? We wasn't Muslims like out the mosque. We wasn't, you know, with that FOA type of thing. So we had our own little thing. Even with the crowns, when you know, they had put the tassels on it because in the belly, in prison, the Muslims used to come and tell the guards, oh, you couldn't wear your crown. And we had to go through that. So just to avoid that, that's where the tassels came from. They had to start putting the tassels on the crown to distinguish ourselves from them. So we had, you know what I'm saying, we had to formulate our own lifestyle to separate ourselves so we could be our own nation, our own universe, you know?
Super hard taught me that history. Super hard taught me that history about the crowns and stuff. And this is a great Zoom because a lot of people have, over the years, have had discrepancies about where the tassel came from. So I sat down with Subar from East Medina, and he had the bill, and he was telling me about it. He was telling me how, you know, we had to have the tassel to distinguish ourselves from them, and how we've grown and evolved into having our own culture and our own way of life and ways we deal with them.
Nobody do it like the dogs do it, man. You know what I mean? Right. And I've been around all of them, you know what I mean? And even to this day, and our job is so hard, right, that I can understand it when a lot of us, you know, was self-medicated at the time, because it was hard when our oldest brothers had to witness the father go back. You know, brothers light themselves on fire and burning up. Oh, Lord, I can't die. You know, I'm just grateful, man, like the God, I know the God for a long time, right? I'm just grateful that, you know, I'm able to see, you know, gods. I mean, this is only, you know, like, in the nation of gods and earth, you could come here 50, 60 years and see somebody that you ain't seen long ago if you're still true and living. You ain't gonna see it nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? And then when I see a brother like 50 years or 60 years and he ain't, you know, all twisted, I know he's doing his job. I knew that he had to step away from when we was young, doing all that we was doing to refine himself, man. You know what I'm saying? You talk about, you know, I hear people talking about God ain't no refinement. If God can't refine, then how can he go through his cleanness? Because the first law of nature is self-preservation. The second law is mental health and hygiene. So refinement means water, cleaning himself up. You know, you got, I was around up in Mecca, and I seen a brother come in there stinking like I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Scratching. That was never in plan when I used to do security back in the days. You know what I'm saying? And we got to check each other.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.